It's your time. It's your time. It's your time. Dream so high, you can touch the sky.
Hey, everybody. Y'all know what day it is. It is Wednesday. So welcome to Wind Down Wednesday. Being a Black woman series, what I can't believe is that this series is this is the last one for the month over. So it's been real, it's been fun, it's been amazing. And I am your host, Coach T EnStacia White. And we just be discussing some real life ish that Black women face every day. This platform allows us to talk candidly about being us. We don't really have a space like that. And so I just wanted to create a space, for us to just be free and talk and whatever issues or whatever great things that are happening with us. We have a space to kind of talk in that. So get your wine glass, get your pajamas, get your comfy, cozy clothes on, because this ain't that kind of show. You ain't got to be cute. You just come on in and talk with us about, what we got going on, what we're going to be talking about today. And so I am Coach T EnStacia White, an organization prioritization and monetization specialist. All them big words just mean is I organize to prioritize to simplify your life. All right, so that is what I do. And I got something good. Look, y'all. So tonight I came ready. I came super ready. So my wonderful, wonderful husband made this for me. And I'm going to put the ingredients, just in case y'all have a wind down day or whatever, have some friends come over or whatever you want to do. You don't have to put alcohol in it, but I will put the recipe in so you guys can make it up when y'all just chilling, and it's delicious. It's delicious. So he made that for me for Wind Down Wednesday. Now, let's get into it. This week's episode is being a Black woman and bossing up for 2022. Y'all just don't know. Don't y'all sleep on a Black woman, because we are getting things done. We are getting things done. And so I have the pleasure of having some amazing guests with me tonight, which makes it even fun because now we get to really talk and chat and have a good time. I'm sorry, y'all. And so without further ado, let me introduce my guests. So welcome, Krista Davis Brown from Classy Concepts, LLC. And then we also have Carla Ogletree, Broadnax. I hope I said that right. Conversations with Carla. So you guys welcome them to the show.
Hey, Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
So, Krista, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started. Just give us a little information on you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Krista Davis Brown. I am the owner and founder of A Classy Concept LLC. By day, I'm an educator. Love educating our babies. I work in an elementary school as a literacy coach. Without that foundation, if our babies can't read, they can't move any further. So that is one of my passions. But outside of that, I started A Classy Concept a couple years ago, but in 2018, I made it official, took it, to the next level, making it into an LLC. Started off as a event planner or special gifts, just anything customized. And that was my creative niche.
Wow.
2020 hit, and I said, oh, I can't handle events. I need to pivot a little bit, if I want to keep this going. So I got into the t-shirt business. And from there, again, it was just the creativity, word of mouth, custom orders. And as time went on, I actually began to pick up companies where they would vendor me out to do their merchandise for them. So currently, that's what a Classy Concept is doing merchandise right now. One of the big jobs that I'm doing is merchandise for the stage play Sanctified, which is a musical comedy written, produced, and directed by Javon Johnson from Tyler Perry's The Oval. So that's my what's keeping me busy right now. Outside of a Classy Concept, I am an unofficial momager to my 19-year-old son, who is extremely active yet very talented, and that's not because he's my baby. So just trying to get into the niche of that and understanding how that business works. So that's what's keeping me busy these days.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. All right, Miss Carla, tell us what you got going on.
Sure. So my name is Carla Ogletree Broadnax. I am from Los Angeles, California. I'm here in the Midwest in Kansas. Phenomenal story. I'm writing it actually right now on how I got here. But anyway, I am a multi-hyphenated person. I do a lot of things. So it's hard to narrow it down. But today, right now, I'm doing projects with T-Mobile. I also have my own business called Conversations with Carla, LLC. I started it in 2015, 2016, after I had visited Haiti and I came back literally changed. I have a background in law. I still dabble in law. I know a lot of attorneys here in the Kansas City metro area that I outsource my services with, or they outsource me for my help, my expertise as well. It is education. I did learn it, so I've learned how to monopolize off of it. And also with Conversations with Carla, I'm also a community moderator for Love Nation. If you know who Lovey Ajayi Jones is, she's a two-time New York bestseller. Has 2 books that she written as bestsellers, and she created a community called Love Nation, and I'm a community moderator in that community. I have 3 children, happily married for 20 plus years. I have one kid away. Yes, I have one kid away in college in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. I have a graduate that's going to be graduating this year. High schooler, and then I have a 6th grader that's going into 7th grade next year. So pretty busy, but my goal is to never bury your own story, to make others comfortable, but to plant the seed, to use your story to bring you and others to the next level. That's what I live. That's what I do on a day-to-day basis. I pour into people. I lend courage.
All right.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah. I like it. Well, welcome. We have one of our other guest speakers is Consuella Hopkins from Consuella's Accounting and Tax Firm. So all we're doing, Consuella, is you just going to come on and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, ladies. Hello, Tamia. Thank you so much for having me on. And so I'm having a little technical difficulties. I decided I made a pit stop. I was traveling and my feet just needed some sand in them. So I had to stop by the beach today.
Well. I'm not bad.
But in our room, oh my gosh, my signal was horrible. So I'm literally trying to find a spot. But
signal.
So I am out just by the beach. You can hear it. Can you guys hear that behind me? It's amazing.
I wish.
Oh my gosh. Well, I am Consuella Hopkins, and I am the CEO and founder of Consuella's Accounting and Tax Firm. I have been in business now for over 30 years, successfully running. I've been coined the term good money multipliers, what a lot of my clients call me. Clients are worldwide, and we're actually planning at the end of July. I'm going to Dubai to speak about generational wealth. because that's what I do. That's what I do. I live it and I teach it. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to be here talking to you ladies about what it is to boss up, because life is interesting, right?
Mhm.
um, Being a woman in business. And I'm also a wife of 22 years. We have
Yeah.
4 children, and actually say 5 now, right? Because I'm raising my granddaughter as well. The Lord blessed me to be able to take care of her, is what I'm just going to call it, after the unexpected passing of my youngest daughter, who was in a car accident less than 6 months ago. So that is truly something that will, it'll make you, rethink some things and make sure that you're doing what you are truly purposed to do. So yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Well, let's
So
see.
that's me.
Now I gotta, I'm learning some stuff. That's what I'm on right there. There we go.
Amazing.
But welcome everybody. Like I said, this is just a candid conversation, just to celebrate Black History Month and to celebrate us. I just feel so empowered by who I've become as a
Nice.
Black woman, and it's been um something that I think is gradually coming out for me, because I mean, I know I've always been a Black woman. That's not what I'm saying, but to celebrate it and to be bold
Mhm.
in saying that I am a Black woman and not making it feel like I can't say that in certain spaces. I'm gonna say that in whatever space I'm in, and that's where I have evolved into. Because if you live in certain areas, well, the Midwest, so if you live in the Midwest in certain areas, some of that is not acceptable, in certain areas it is what it is. Like Atlanta, you can be you can fight for you can do you, right? But in the Midwest, some areas it's just not, something that you see done often. And so I'm just in the space right now. The place right now is that I feel like if I don't celebrate me and my sisters, who gonna do it? All right. So let's talk about it. There is some statistics that I want to share with you guys. So, did you know that Black female entrepreneurs are launching businesses at a high rate than white men?
Absolutely.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
Ladies, we're getting it done. Do you hear
Well,
me?
I don't I don't want to, because I'm in Atlanta. We see that a lot. So
Mhm.
that's very interesting statistic. And actually, one of my really good friends, she left education for her business. Like that's how well and still is doing extremely well. But
Mhm.
she also is a advice giver. So it's not you don't see that a lot in Atlanta, as people don't want to give you advice.
Mhm.
Everybody is willing to share here. So that's one of the lovely things, especially as female women. We will tend to run into that in some places,
Yeah.
where people don't want to share stuff. But she is open. She does tutorials. She'll do webinars. So just that's a very interesting statistic.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
interesting.
And it to me, a lot of the things that I am talking about this last month has been so empowering. Like, just some of the questions, some of the things that we've been talking about, just talking to people from all over the world, which is this one thing about this platform and me being able to have talks like this, is I just meet people from all over.
Yeah.
But it's been very empowering to see and to know how we really doing it. And all that stereotype is that we catty, we can't get along, we can't partnership, we can't do that. That's for the birds. I'm gonna say that's so 2000. We're not doing that. Okay, we are not doing that. Another so Harvard Business Review stated that 17% of Black women are in the process of starting or running a new business. And I think that is so phenomenal. So just think of, if we reached out our hands to somebody else, the younger ones, and got them molded and got them right. Because we still got to remember excellence. And I think we don't want to lose that in it, lose that thought process in this journey. So we still want to keep the excellence, and just reach back And just think, if we have this conversation in 5 years, you know what that's gonna look like for us if we do that. So and then they always comparing us. So I'm just getting these statistics, and this is what the statistics say. Okay. So then they compared us to 10% of white women and 15% of white men. So we just out there getting it done. Like, we out there deciding to live for us, deciding that these little jobs ain't giving us what they need to give, how they need to give it. And so the last thing, and then I want y'all to talk about it, talk about what y'all think about it. 46% of Black women are small business owners. That's y'all see them numbers. It's only 100%. So what do you think? So when you see that, or some of you, you probably know, some people research this. So if you're a business owner, you probably already knew a lot of this. But what do you think about it? What is your thought on this?
I'll go ahead and speak. First of all, Coach T, I want to thank you for inviting me this evening. It's such a pleasure. I remember submitting a request to speak at another time, and I didn't get picked, but it was a good thing because then I wasn't ready. And so when you sent out the request, I think you did it here a couple of weeks ago, I was ready. So God's timing is always ahead of us. So thank you. On the 46% of Black women owning small businesses, that number is going to continue to grow. Women are finally understanding that they have power, that you don't have to be behind the desk anymore, that your name can be on that plaque as well. And I think it has a lot to do with the type of people that we're learning to commune with. Because if you're not communing with the right people, those energizers that are reaching for the same goals, the same success, then you understand you're going to stay in this rut for a while. I share that a lot with a lot of people who are actually in fear of starting their own business, right? Because we have grown accustomed to being behind that desk or being behind that name, and it's safe here, right? I can play safe. And then they allow imposter syndrome to seep in and tell you, you know what, you're better off just staying here. Stepping out is too much for you. You won't be able to handle it. But in the year 2022, right now, Black women are making historic gains. We're doing some moving and some serious uncomfortable shaking. And I love to see the women doing it while they're afraid, because that's the best time to do it. When you're not shaking, when you're not sweating, then you're not in the right lane for yourself. So I'm looking forward for those numbers to continue to rise, because women are finally understanding, Black women are finally understanding that we are the pixie dust to this country. We are needed in this country.
Yeah.
Here by no accident. To be the people of color to be the most hated, it's a reason. They want us to muffle, right? They want us to bow down and muffle to those weaknesses. But we're not that. Our ancestors did it for us. They paved it. When I think of when Consuella mentioned about going back and helping other people, I envisioned Harriet Tubman, because she could have just freed her own self and said, deuces, I'm out, I'm free. But she had the audacity, the wit, the determination, I don't care. I got my shotgun. I wish somebody would. Right? And she went back and got a lot of people. She saved a lot of people. In our culture, as far as women, we need to truly, truly take heed to that. If we want these numbers to go higher than this, if we're doing the cross comparison of she's better than me, or she's going to get there higher than me, and all the pointing and the ugliness, we're going to still stay complacent. In 2022, we need to continue to get uncomfortable. And I'm loving it. So far, the talks I've had with women and pushing them into starting their own businesses is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Anybody else want to comment on those pieces of information?
I would just say that part of that too is having a support system.
Yeah.
Like having cheerleaders, whether it's men or women.
That's right.
Because I know for me, I'm just going around doing, oh, I can do that. I can do that. But didn't really say to myself, why don't I just make this into a business? Because at that time, it was just fun for me to get it done. It wasn't until I had, why don't you just start a business and this is your focus? So it took someone to see my talent and to invest in me and to support me and to cheer me on to do it, to get to the point that I'm at now.
Yeah. And I'll chime in too. I think it doesn't surprise me because I know when I started my business, it was when I was really starting to understand my worth, right? I was working with a local bank,
Mhm.
literally bringing in million-dollar clients, and they'll give me a $50 bonus. And which, okay, fine. That was their pay schedule. But I was just the connectivity, the fact that if when I had to leave because my son had a football game or my daughter had a recital, they acted as if the whole bank was going to fall apart because I wasn't there, right? But
Mhm.
yet, these are my children, right? I need to support them. And where was that rah for me, right? Supporting me in that. And so it just allowed me to understand and know my worth. And baby, when I started understanding my worth,
Woo!
I walked out on faith and started my own firm, and here we are. And I think one of the biggest things was I was going for how you do your annual review, and one of the and my supervisor has said something to me about, well, we can't give you your increase this year, something along this line, because I heard you speaking slang to one of our clients, one of your customers. And I was like, you mean the customers that I was letting them know of a surety that you got to pay this loan back, and this ain't nothing you play about, that's been paying on time faithfully the entire year? You talking about that client? And so I was speaking their language financially, so they understood what it was that they were getting into, right?
Yeah.
She wanted to hold that against me versus seeing the benefit of bringing in, our culture into the bank, right? Into
Right.
financial, products. Well, so I knew then, what, I can do this better. I can definitely do this better. And hence, and here we are. And I think the beauty of what we're seeing in this community and in the country and in this world is that we're starting to really truly understand our worth. And nothing can touch, nothing can hold a penny to us. Nothing. Because of what we do in excellence. 99% of us, what we do it in love, and we want to make sure others are benefiting from this as well. As it's not this individualistic thing or a selfish thing. It's about growing everyone, even sometimes those same ones that hurt us or try to keep us down. Right.
That's right.
So, and I think we just got to continue to make sure we're instilling that to other sisters, our children, our young women and our young men, to truly understand their worth and who they are and whose they are. Because when you understand that, you could be a tax accountant on vacation in the middle of peak season.
Hello.
Absolutely.
You put your feet in some sand and everything still runs. Right?
That's right.
And don't nothing fall apart. Like, like what I experienced when I'm at this huge bank, and our firm is even bigger. It's gonna be even bigger, I should say.
Absolutely.
I'm putting that into existence.
Absolutely. It's a premonition. It's something that will
yes,
happen.
Carla. Yes.
So let me tell you how God works. He gonna wrap it right in. My next thought in conversation was check out the planner. Now, she didn't know I was gonna be talking about this next. And in there, we talk about success, worth, and value. You don't know yours, lady. Then how are you going to move forward? How are you going to open that business that you really, because a lot of people get into it using the mindset of Krista because it was passion. I got into my nonprofit off my passion. But if somebody would have gave me this book 20 years ago, I would have, a lot of mistakes would have not happened because I was going off of passion, which is amazing. But I also forgot about the woman in me, the Black woman in me. And if we don't lay down our worth, we don't lay down our value, we don't lay down these things, this solid foundation, to success or to what we think success is, then we're stumbling. We're just stumbling around. And so I think that is perfect. You must know all those things. I call it run, y'all. So it is redefining your success, understanding your value, and notice your worth. That's what run is. You better run to your
Come
success.
on, run.
Okay, run to it. All right. So this is Q&A time. So I have some questions that you guys can answer just free will, like we've been doing, just having a conversation. The first question is, how do you feel about the state of Black women right now in 2022?
I mean, like I said already, Black women look to make historical gains, especially with seeing women in the political stream, right? Like did we forget we have a Black vice president?
That's all right.
I mean, sometimes I'm like, wow, we have a Black vice president and she's female. Like, what is it that I can't do? You know, what is it that I want to stop myself from doing?
Hello, that's
it. The utmost, right? In our eyes, in our generation, like she is like, wow. So why am I holding back? Which is why those numbers are factual of 46% of Black women starting their own businesses. It's going to get higher than that. In my heart of hearts, Black women are really doing the thing. I have allies that reach out to me and ask me to do the thing because we think it'll be a better fit for you. I never had these kind of talks with people that don't look like me. I'm getting opportunities to do this, that, and all of these things. Like, wow, you want my Black face? Let's go. Because I need the world to know. I need my little people that I'm raising, the students that I also teach on a part-time basis. I need to let them know that this is scary, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to pave the way for whoever else is coming up behind me, in front of me, or whatever. So it's Black excellence this year for a lot of people.
Yes.
It really is.
Yes. Anybody else want to chime in on that question?
Just to actually kind of piggyback off of that, being in education, I know every year I take a couple of young girls, and a lot of times they just need to see it. They need to see what they can do. They need to see what they can be. I was actually having a conversation with some other coworkers, and we have what started out as, there's a number of women of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated at my school. And so we took a whole bulletin board, but my vision more for that was not just to display all the AKs in the building. All of us do something different in education. So I was trying to lay a platform for our students to see, oh, I can be a teacher. I can be a special education teacher. I can be a counselor. I can be a literacy coach. I can be an assistant principal. I can be a professional development coordinator. So just from that, or I can be the area nurse. So we all bring something different to the table. But in education, growing up, even when I got into education, as far as an undergrad, I was like, oh, teacher, principal. That was it. I didn't know there were all these other layers that I could adventure out into. So what we did was we did make it a Divine Nine sorority area so that they can see that there are other organizations, and we have other speech pathologists, and we have ILTs, which is our coach or our lead for our special needs department. So what we do is we put all that together, and I mean, it just melts my heart, because when we are, walking to our meetings or going to do an observation, you'll see young girls just standing at the board reading everything. So I added another layer to that and added our schools and the various degrees we have. And this month I've been really promoting HBCUs, Harrisville State University.
Hello. Woo! Hey, hey. Hey.
So and yes, we do have a picture of our vice president, Masara, up on that board as well, so they can see. Oh,
That's
I
right.
can even be vice president, or better
Hello.
yet, I can be president. So I feel like if we can get it in the school systems, anytime I can touch any young lady, it just, I feel like I'm doing something for the culture. Because
Yes.
they may not be exposed to that all the time. I do choose to work in urban areas for that reason.
That's
And you
amazing. Absolutely
definitely
amazing.
Yes.
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 And if you don't mind, I wanted to chime in, EnStacia, we still have time.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I definitely ditto Carla and Krista what you guys were saying, but as a financial woman, right, being in finances is what I do, right, and teaching, I see a little bit of both of two sides to the Black woman's state of mind, and where we are just right now. Our status is because so many people are starting businesses, and we're getting out, our comfort zone, and we're doing some phenomenal things. But one of the things that we're lacking in is truly getting our finances in order.
Yeah.
Right. Or making, putting that on the back burner. And when you have a business, and when you, even your personal, in order to truly grow and to build that success, you got to have your finances in order. And I think I see a lot of turmoil, or miseducation sometimes in our finances. But one of the things that I do see is that there is truly this shift of wanting to get the knowledge, right? Wanting to be prepared, wanting to know how to run, as Tamir was saying, even financially. So I see that as well, and I think that's something that's very, very optimistic for our women, right? For our state of the Black woman, because I'm telling you, you get your spiritual man and your financial man in order, you're unstoppable.
Woo-hoo! Girl, ain't ready.
That's what we teach it. We want to make sure happen. So
they are not ready for that, honey. That's the breakthrough right there.
Okay.
We're getting all of that together. Your mindset, your management, and your money. Woo woo, baby. That is where it's at. So my next question, thank you guys for that. I think that was really good. I think what I got out of it was just amazing to hear. And maybe because I'm an educator too, just hear and to get an idea. I'm in a school with, African American young ladies, and I, hadn't even thought of that, maybe in doing something with the HBC culture, having each teacher talk about because I do know we do have a lot of teachers that went to an HBCU. And I know these last couple of months, since my organization gives away these college boxes, that's been our focus. And it's so crazy to have come from an HBCU. I never really made that my focus. And I'm like, how did I work with these young people and never made you need to go to an HBCU my focus? But I'm very driven on that now. And I see the value in it now. So I did. And getting your money right, y'all. Look, we don't even have to talk about that because we already know that for most of us, that's what's keeping us down. And for most women who decided to open up a business, that was the driving force.
Yeah.
So we already know that is something that once we get it together, it's going to be real. All right. Do you think Black women are being protected like they should? I got crickets on this one. I don't know if you're on mute, Consuella, but we can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm on mute. I'm sorry, there's some kids running through the pool. So I want to say, I don't think so. I definitely think that there is always more protection that as African American women, right, that we could be protected in. And I'm saying it because there's so much stereotype, right? And that we always have to fight against. And if we were protected more, then some of that we wouldn't have to do, right? And but a lot of that is going to be protecting ourselves, protecting one another. I think in our homes, I'm hoping that I could say yes, but I think there's some things that we could do better. And I say that because there is this twofold, that we still supposed to be, barefoot and pregnant and at home and cooking and cleaning, and I come from the area. Miss Vern, anybody who knows my
Hello.
mom, she raised
Hello.
us to have cooks and cleaners and and drivers and and not just because we was raised to have our home decent and in order, but that didn't mean you had to be the one to do that. And the reality of it is, you can't boss up the way we got to boss up in 2020 and beyond, right? There's no way you can boss up and still be doing all that on your own. So when I say, are we protected? I say no, because there's still this myth like that we're supposed to be able to do it all, right, and still be strong, and until others start really protecting us on that end, that we are human, we're women, we're modest as well, we're strong, but even in that's a whole nother conversation in itself. We talk about us being strong. So I want to say that we could definitely be protected better, as a whole. I think so.
Yes.
I totally agree with Consuela as well. Like, I believe when we support and protect Black women, we begin to chip away at the cultures, the different cultures in like physical violence, healthcare, our babies, mental care, right? All of that. Because right now the physical violence, that's like normal in our culture. But we
against
need,
us.
right, against us.
Yeah.
But we need to normalize it in the policy in America. It needs to be normalized in our policies in America is where I'm going. But no, we're not protected.
No.
We're not. And there's areas that can definitely be strengthened where representation matters.
Hello.
We need to step up to the plate of being uncomfortable in those. I mean, I've been to several teacher conferences, or not teacher conferences, but oh my God, district meetings. And I'm always the only one there. I should not be the only Black parent in a school district where I know there are a lot of Black kids at this school or at these schools. And I'm the only Black at the time when we were going in person. I would be the only Black parent there. And I'm like, I know I'm not the only one that care. I know we have to get uncomfortable with being comfortable. Especially, as for Black women. If we have to be at the front of the line, so be it. But once we make those changes, then we can get those type of things normalized in America.
And I really believe that we need these kind of conversations to talk with that, because that's the normal. Okay, so we need to flip back what's normal, because it's not normal for parents not to be at parent teachers conferences. That's not a normal thing. And it's not really well, I can only speak from where I came from. And where I came from, that was not a norm at all, right? Like if it wasn't mama, somebody, you understand?
Right.
My sister, you understand? Like somebody was a representation to be there. So we need to flip back and get out of what the world is telling us what we should be, this new age of Black women, and go back to, yes, we're a little bolder than we was back in then. You're right, we're bolder than our parents. But we still need that protection. Just because I'm bold does not mean that I don't need that protection.
Right.
And I feel like in that, because in every aspect of our lives, and I know we just live, right? We just move. I asked this question on purpose because we just move and we just knock down the barriers, because that's what we've been having to do. But it's not normal. We have to come together as a collective and say no more and never again. This is not okay. There's people need to go into their rightful place. So our men need to be in their rightful place. We need to be in our rightful place. Everybody need to get in order, get in line, and get right. And so And because
Our
that's the
children.
only way we're going to be protected. Even when it comes to our kids, our children got to get right. We can't be running around here doing everything for them either. Like, so everybody has to get in order for us to be in our place comfortable, sitting comfortably, you know, and not be on red alert all the time, you know. So, Krista, did you, Miss Davis, Miss Brown, did you have anything to say?
No, I agree with what you're saying. Some of the stuff that was talked about, I don't see it as much on my end, so it's kind of hard for me to speak on that piece. But you know, definitely, I think this might be more leading into your other question. We do what we got to do. You know, we can only lead by example. But I think that's more getting into your
Well,
other.
I will start. You can start it off. There you go. All right. So, what do you think the strong label? And the reason why we had a whole series last week on the strong label, it was a whole series. But why I wanted to bring it into this week, because you bossing. If we bossing up, we already know that there's some things that you have to do. There's a demeanor, there's a energy, there's everything that you have to come with in order to be a boss. And I'm not saying all of it is fair, but it kind of goes hand in hand on what we're talking about. So go ahead, Krista, and tell me, you know.
Okay. So because I'll have to bring my mother and
we like them
grandma, you know, I don't want to say our deceased grandmother. But I used to catch a lot because I was so vocal. So like when it came to their health, so prime situation with my dad, you know, my mom was like, no, I'm gonna say something, you know, and I'm gonna say something, and you can just see the difference in the generations. Now, when did I get this label? I don't know. I don't know if I got fed up. I don't know. I don't even really know when it happened or when it started. But my younger years, I was very quiet.
Right.
You know, I didn't say a lot. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And you know, I'm gonna call a spade. And if you're not doing something right, I'm gonna say something. Now, as far as that strong label piece, we are always told we're strong. But honestly, that's all I know how to be is strong. Life is gonna throw various things at you. And either we can ball up on the couch or we can boss up and handle what we need to handle. Now, it's not gonna be easy. It's not always easy, but there is some type of strength that comes over you. I know for me, I always go by the Bible verse that my nanny lived by, you know, and that's Philippians 4:13, that I can do all things through Christ that strengthen me. And I live by that because I know that God's not going to put anything on me that I can't handle. So that strong label piece, I wear that proud. Is it exhausting at times? Yeah, it's exhausting. But we got to do what we got to do, especially as Black women.
Yes. I know last week I was talking about this and I told the lady, I said, this is my thing for me with the strong label. I'm going to be strong for me, but I am no longer accepting the outside world to tell me what my strong is. That's my bottom line. Now, when I do things in strength, like you said, I'm doing them because I got to get some things done. Right. But you on the outside ain't going to tell Miss Me no more what that should look like. What my strong should look like, or if I'm going through, oh girl, be strong. Y'all better hold that because I'm only as strong as I can be. and I gauge that. You don't gauge that, and I think that that's where the label got this kind of distorted right there.
I think it also, to add to that, I think it also got distorted by African Americans in general. We are passionate beings. We're passionate people. Even, just by the way we praise in church, when we celebrate, we are extremely passionate. And that's not a bad thing, right? I'm not going to shrink my thankfulness or my celebration because I'm making you uncomfortable. I'm not going to shrink my thought in fixing something that I saw that was not right, that was wrong, to make it right. And if it comes out with authority and boldness, then that's what you're going to get, because that's who I am. African American people in general are passionate. We're loving, we're caring. But when it comes to seeing anybody getting mistreated, disrespected, a lot of us are going to step in and try to help and rectify the situation. And you have to with boldness. I mean, look at our ancestors.
I was just about to say that.
I mean, Harriet Tubman, she had a lot of boldness, right? She said a lot of things, I'm sure.
Okay, yes.
She told people what they're not going to do. And yes, you can, right? You were only free in your mind, but she's like, no, I want to be free out of here, right? So I always tell my children, we're in Shawnee Mission School District, and I tell them to never shrink.
That's right.
They need to hear your boldness. They need to hear it from here. If it's coming from here, they need to hear it. Trust me.
That's right. And the beauty of that is, and the only reason that we could truly, Carla and Krista, stand here and be these women is because our ancestors.
Yeah.
Right? Because there truly was a time, this boldness, we would be killed, period.
Yeah.
Right? And also to be educated. Well, I'm loving these educators on the line here, because knowledge is power. And the more we know, then we can make sure that those things will never come back.
You better say it.
So, and that is true, but at the same time, it is all the myths and the things that they put on our ancestors, right? I think of 12 Years a Slave, right? And that one character they had in there where she was, picking more cotton than the men, right? But then how she fell out. Right. Yeah. But I can also remember my great grandmother, they had a story about her the same exact way. She didn't fall out. She was graceful with it, but always strong, always doing it more. And the problem is, and that goes back to the question before, when we're talking about that protection, is that so many people take our strength and want to make it a weakness. So then, because I'm strong, because I had no choice but to stand in the gap, you gonna just leave me in the gap?
Hello?
Right. We're not going to come in and help one another out. You're not gonna come hold up my arm, right? You're not going to give me the assistance that I need because I make it look easy, And so we just got to be mindful of that. We really do. I know a sister friend of mine was also doing saying no longer are we strong, but let's talk about being a healed Black woman too, right? Because in that holding that strength all the time comes a lot of hurts, a lot of disrespects, a lot of things happen, and we want to make sure that we're mentally and physically and spiritually healed, right? Black women as well as. But when I think about that a lot, especially what happened with my youngest daughter here, and everyone, oh, you're strong, you can make it through. And I'm like, strong? What the heck strong got to do with this?
Right.
And I couldn't believe things and how that was over and over and over. And I thought, okay, so do I look like I'm Jesus to folks? They said this man was going 105 miles per hour and hit my baby.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to be strong. So you see what I mean? And sometimes we may say that because, because everyone is used to be bossing up. Anything needs to happen, I am there. I've always been that one for the underdog, always jumping into the fight for the underdog, right? But at the same time, we got to also remember that we're still human. Just because we do it and we do it well, right? Just because me and my brother, when I was younger, my younger days, I literally would pick up cars with my brother, right? Truly physically strong. We were all, because we were strong, still doesn't mean that that it's just something you just throw on us for everything, right? That in everything and all things, we always got to show up that way. And it's not a bad thing. It's just a bad thing when you're finding that I'm gonna just say you're unprotected. Going back to that question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or when you're left out here alone. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
And that was the whole reason why the conversation with those kind of questions were kind of gathered together, because I want to express to whoever's out there watching on these platforms that how dynamic we are, because now we're gonna talk about y'all bossing up. So on top of not being protected, gotta be out here, you gotta do this, you gotta show up a certain way, all the dynamics of being a Black woman, and I'm still bossing up. So just imagine if I had a cover of protection. Just imagine if I had a line behind me that's got my back on every corner, right? So just imagine. So that's all I'm saying. Like this, now you're gonna tell me what you're really doing. Now I want people to understand, okay, and it's not a pity party. We gonna do what we gonna do. Yeah. I just want people to understand that in some dynamics and in some people, speaking of myself, you no longer gonna put that strong on me. If I feel like crying right then in the moment, because I used to be the one, I'm gonna go home and cry. No, I'm gonna cry right then. Point blank, period. Because that's where I need to be at when I cry.
And it doesn't make you less than because you have to do so.
Exactly. And so those are just things that I think we carried on, but we don't need to carry that anymore. Those are not things we need to. So whoever wants to go first on oops, I forgot to nope, this one. What boss moves are you making this year in 2022? What do you have going on? You can talk to us, tell us about whatever it is that you want to share. And this gives you the opportunity, it gives you the permission, it gives you the freedom to gloat on you. Because when do you get to do that? So let's talk about it. And let whoever wants to go first can go first. Okay. See how shy y'all look. See how y'all are, and y'all know y'all bosses.
Shy.
Y'all kind of thing going on. I know. Krista got all kind of things. I know for a fact Consuella got all kind of things. Carla said I do so much, but I'm just gonna tell y'all about this. So I will help you out. Carla, why don't you share with us?
Sure. Yeah. So sure. I'm always the one talking. So that's why I have a company called Conversations with Carla. So
that's right.
So yeah. So my goal for 2022 and what I'm doing, I don't have anything like booked up in this crazy calendar. I used to, but I've learned to to set boundaries. I've learned to have options now to pick and choose the projects and such that I want. So that's also a blessing. So what I'm doing naturally is really lending courage to women of color, on how to use their truth and to walk in it. A lot of us is walking around with amazing stories, ugly stories, but they don't understand that those stories are actually fuel to take you to the next level. Right? You need the stories. Like right now, this is an amazing story that I'm adding to Carla, right? She did this talk on this day. Like, it's my story, right? And I got to sit here with Coach E and these wonderful Coach T and these other beautiful ladies as well. Like, we're creating story, okay? So that's my goal, and that's what I do. I help people use their past, use the ugly, and try to create making money out of it, writing a book, sharing a story, because not only with you sharing, it shows a little bit of vulnerability, and it can also be a breakthrough from any challenges that you're going through yourself. So that's all I have. I know I'm doing a lot of things. I don't have a list. I know I'm booked for probably a couple other little projects that I'm doing, but you can reach me at www.convos with an S, convoswithcarla.com. And I do one-on-ones. I love working with people that are trying to break out and do amazing projects. I'm like what you call a fanner of flames. I lend courage, and I just let you know you that girl. Like how you said, gas, like talk about yourself. Like I call it gassing yourself up, right? Because who else is going to do it?
That's
so
right.
yeah, so I'm that girl that can gas you up, that will lend courage and remind you of your truth and help you walk in it, and not to allow your past to damage where you're going. Because there's so many amazing, fascinated people in this world, but they're still hooked onto their stories. They're still hooked to the ugly things that with that, with the imposter syndrome and with fighting fear, speaking up. Like there's so many amazing people that are blocking their blessings, and I just help unlock them.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that, because that's what we need to hear. You know what I'm saying? Because we all have these amazing gifts and passions and purpose, and we need to hear that, because I think that we don't know all the things you do, and so we out there looking and you do it, we didn't even know, so I think that this gives us an opportunity to share. So that our next person up is Consuela. So what boss moves are you making for 2022?
Wow. So for 2022, I am truly getting used to a new normal, right? And understanding, really truly honing into what it is I want to do and do it, right? What else is that thing, that passion, that purpose still. And so for years I've been desiring to take my firm virtual. We were part-time, but we literally this year in 2022 we launched our virtual firm, which means literally, I can have team meetings and I don't have to be in the office, right? I love it. And I'm going to take a picture tomorrow on the beach doing my team meeting. And,
you better do it.
but that is truly, that was that freedom that I left the bank for, I left bad relationships for, because I wanted to make sure I live life on my terms. I remember clearly at the bank saying, why should I work 5 days a week for 2 days off? When I, start my own firm, it's going to be working 4 days, 3 days off. And now I'm at, well, why not should work 2 days and be off 5 days, right? So, because being able to be free. And then in that, another thing that was on my desired things I wanted to do was to travel the country speaking. And I do that, but I haven't been to Dubai. And I was asked earlier, well, was it earlier this year, last year actually, to speak in Dubai for generational wealth building. And I'm excited about that on so many levels. It's something I wanted to do, and I'm excited about, doing it and being able to know what I've been through, right? To know my story, Carla, right? I'm that woman that was a mother at 16 and then again at 19, right? To know my story. And now they paying me to go to Dubai to talk about generational wealth, my story. And so I'm very, very, very thankful for that. And I think it was ironic too, Carla, when you were speaking, one of the things that made me think about was how even when I was younger, I was always told to hush, right? My teachers, I was that loud one in the room, right? When I entered into a room, you knew it, loud all the time, right? But it was who I was. And I wish somebody then cultivated it. So because it was something I had to get out of my box comfort zone for, because sometime at the back of my head, right, I could hear that, do you want to speak about that? I had to sometimes fight through it because of what I was taught growing up. But you do it, I do it fearful anyway, right? Because I know I have to show up. Being a child of God, a woman of God, and that was the third thing in stage I wanted to share too, is that despite what this world throws at me, despite what things go on, despite the assignment, I want to
Wow.
make sure I hit every assignment the Lord has me
Woo!
on this earth to do, and I want to do it in excellence, and I want to do it to where He says, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." So and I do it, but I make sure I have my boundaries, and I know what if it don't feel good for me, it ain't for me. But that's not about getting out your comfort zone. It's something different, right? But I'm thankful. I'm thankful for what's coming up, and that's just a couple of different things. I haven't even talked about our real estate development stuff we got going on, but I'm gonna leave that for another day.
See, I can bring y'all on and on and on and on and on and on and on, right? You're right. Different topics. I got it. I'm under that one too. Hey, so, I know who to call. So I am. You up. You up.
Okay. So I'm real big on bite-sized things, but although this goal right here is really lifelong lasting, I really want to focus on building a legacy.
Woo!
For my daughter, she's 26. My son, he's 19. He's a sophomore at KSU. I have a 12-year-old who is in 7th grade, and then I have my Addison Riley. She will be 2 in April, and I want to, not that they have to go into the business that I'm doing, but I want to build something and leave something for them that they're proud of. I had my daughter at 20, and she really has been my motivation. That's why I finished college. I went back, got my master's, got my specialist. I'm ABD, which means all but dissertation. Y'all pray for me.
You can do it.
But everything I do, I'm doing it to be a role model of some sort. Like I want them to see that they can do this as well.
Yes.
So, the building a legacy, Carla, like you said, writing your story. I want them to have something to look at. Okay, like, you know what, I can do this too because my mama did it.
Yeah.
And that's taking the business aspect out of it. That's taking the momager. Like I said, that's still something new for me. I'm not, I'm trying to wrap my hands around it, but it's like I'm too passionate sometimes, and I think that big voice that we talk about, my son is like, Mama, you don't need to. I'm like, what you mean? Why ain't they pick you? I don't understand. I'm very vocal about it. And it really took my son to tell me, like, Mom, everything's not for me. And then when I sit back, like, okay, maybe that wasn't best for you. But outside of that, it's a learning process. And to be able to say I've experienced A, B, C, D, and this is going to help me continue on this journey of building the legacy. That's what I thrive on. So that's my 2022. And in the school system, we have this new you in 22, or like yesterday was 2 days.
Oh yeah,
I love it. Y'all know I love a chant. I love a chant. I'll get behind a chant, honey.
Right.
Oh, this is so great. So great. So anybody out in the audience, if you have any questions on social media world, just put your questions in there for anybody, any of the speakers, anything, because one thing about broadcasting, which I love, all this new 2022, this what we're doing is it's never ending. So you can keep it moving. You don't have to stop. Oh, I missed it. No, you didn't. You didn't miss nothing. You replay it. You ask the questions. You target your questions to who you want to talk to, because we're I feel like my goal in life is to be a connection, to be the support, to be the cheerleader to people. And it's natural for me. It's natural for me to do that. Like, I don't really have a jealousy bone, like I wasn't brought up that way, or it's not implanted in me. So I don't really trip off of if you doing what I'm doing or whatever. I don't even trip off of that, because what I know is, yes, we could be doing the same thing, but so is Avon and Mary Kay. They doing the
That's
same
right.
thing. I mean, so what? Like they both making their money. So
That's
that
right.
doesn't bother me because I know what is good for me is good for me. And one thing Consuela told me at a very early age is all money, baby, ain't good money. And when you understand that process, you will understand that everything is not for you and it's okay. It's okay. Just
Mhm.
Hey.
all right. So we're gonna wrap it up. But before we go, I want to kind of just say how amazing this talk was. I think that for me, this is true therapy. God will take you on stuff and you always thinking it's for somebody else. I'm like, oh, I could do a
Mhm.
segment for Black women and they can come and tell me everything. But this has really been therapy for me because I am in a city where I really don't know people. I bought a house in an area where it ain't a lot of us. And so this gives me an opportunity to talk to people and to engage and to be authentically me, and to
Mhm.
build on that. So when I walk outside my door, I'm still me. So yes, this was a great conversation. I am so glad to have you all as my guests. Is there anything else that you want to share before we go? Any upcoming events, anything else? And also after the broadcast, just go in and you can put in all your links, how they can reach you. I do know it's tax time. You want somebody that do your taxes and they are amazing, then you better call Consuela's Accounting and Tax Services. What I was gonna put on, but the room I'm in is super hot. I got to figure out I was gonna put on my sweatshirt that classy concepts made for you, girl. Don't wear that tonight. That was gonna be my attire. But I was like,
Oh.
burn up in here. So but yeah, so what makes me excited to meet people like I did, like me and Carla literally just met on this broadcast. So what makes me excited about that? Because nothing is for an accident.
Mhm.
Nothing is an accident. And the people that are signing up and coming onto these broadcasts are amazing people. And I feel like that's the spirit, because it has to be the spirit aligning when you want to sign your name, because we don't know each other,
Yeah.
and just trusting in that. And I just think that that's a beautiful thing. And we as black women really need to get more comfortable in doing that, really supporting each other. And when you feel like it's a downfall in something that I am doing, call me. You can text me, you can call me, you can, and it's a way
Email.
for us to talk to each other, because one thing I know, I'm not perfect. And so,
Mhm.
and I'm not gonna walk around this world and act like I am. But like I said, thank you all for coming. I Y'all can stay in and hang out, but I got some freebies to give away because that's what I do. So we have our free training every week. So if you don't know, Tea with Coach T TV has launched. We have episode 2, 9 mindsets that lead to a millionaire lifestyle. So you can download the ebook, you can get on there and go to Coach T TV and see all the episodes. What it is getting your 3 M's in order. And that is your mindset. Baby, if you want to make $1 million, you got to change your mindset. You can't be acting like you can't stay in the state you in and you only making whatever. And then you want to be a millionaire. You got to change your mindset. So then you got to change your management. You got to change the things around you, how you operate. I heard Miss Carla, my guest, say, and it's the same thing that happened to me. She said, I used to be filled up in time, but I don't do that no more. Me neither. I don't do that anymore. I'm very selective, and not bougie selective, but I have to understand I want to live free. I don't want to be tied down, wrapped up, and doing all this extra stuff that I don't need to.
Mhm.
I don't have to be obligated to do everything, because there's other people out there, like I said earlier, that do what I do. Let them get a chance. So that is the reason why. And then the last thing is your money. If you get those 3 things in order, then you will be on your way, because you got to lay a solid foundation. You'll be on your way. You'll be on your way as a well-rounded person. So join me for Coach T TV. And also, we have our free webinar, Stop Procrastinating and Start Monetizing Your Purpose. This is my gift to talk to people who procrastinate and talk about the 12 things that most procrastinators do. And I have a 12-step kind of thing, some tips and some strategies and some life skills that you can implement in your life so that you are no longer doing that. And you are now monetizing your purpose. You are now building the legacy that Miss Krista Davis Brown was talking about, okay? Because we have to change up some stuff in order to get where we want to go. And also, join the Trimunity. It is a free group, and it will assist you with creating your millionaire life plan. If you join the group, you will get these. I get affirmations. Just get information from people and me. And I believe in a Trimunity, and what that is a Trimunity is a support system of people that want to build in generational wealth. So we barter, we collaborate, we work together in order for us to build generational wealth. So that might be something you want to join. So in conclusion, you guys, next week, we are already going to be in March next week. I can't believe this. Like, I can't believe this. So next week, we will be talking about on Wind Down Wednesdays, living with fibroids. So a lot of these topics are topics that are relevant to me. So this is our next topic. So if you are a woman that is living with fibroids, please jump out and contact me, fill out the application. I will be putting the application link in the down below. And let's talk about it, because what I didn't know, the more and more I talk about my fibroid story, the more and more I see that it is all of us. It feels like it's all of us that are dealing with fibroids. And I think that we have to start learning how to deal with it without having all these surgeries. And figuring out how, and sometimes you have to have a surgery, but when you have a community and you're able to talk to people about it, then that is that helps.
Game changer.
All right. So you can be our guest. Like I said, I'll put the link in the bottom. You all have an amazing rest of your evening. Let me put my guests back on here so they can say goodbye. I know it's late in some areas, so I really, really appreciate you guys joining in, jumping on at this hour. What is there anything else? This is Coach T and EnStacia White, and I am your sis in this journey called life. You all have a great.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.